The Google Pixel 6 and 6 Pro was a big release for Google. It has Google's first chip, the Tensor G1, and this alone was a big deal. This was Google's time to shine, to show everyone they can compete with Apple and deliver good products. But unfortunately, the launch wasn't a good one. Reports starting coming out showcasing problems with the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro, from unreliable fingerprint scanner, overheating problems, screen problems like green screens, dead pixel and flickering screens. Auto rotate didn't work, auto brightness has problem, and some users even saying that the Wi-Fi calling was broken. Pixel didn't look like it stood a chance. Google failed to produce a good device for consumers. But despite all of these problems, the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro was Google's second best-selling Pixel. How you can see in this picture, the source is by IDC. And for the first time ever, Google gave the Pixel personality. They finally chose a design that can represent the Pixel, and if you walk on the street and see it, you will say, that's a Google Pixel. And this matters more than anything in today's world, where everyone knows how an iPhone looks. It's important to make people talk about your phone when they see it on the street. The Pixel 6 had a rough start, but Google fixed everything now. All the problems are fixed and it's a pretty amazing phone. I know this cause I'm using for the last 2 months the Pixel 6 Pro. So let's talk about my experience with the 6 Pro in mid-2023. Design. I'm happy to say that this design now belongs to a Pixel, and it's a design probably you will recognize. It's beautiful, it's modern, and I love it. You get a curved screen. For those who are not a fan, I'm sorry, I'm a fan of curved screens, but overall it's a beautiful design, 10 times better than any iPhone design. The battery has a 5000 mAh battery, but the numbers doesn't represent nothing. But I said it just in case you need to know the numbers. In real life, the battery is pretty good in mid-2023. I get a day, sometimes a day and a half, depending on how I use my phone. But screen time, I have approximately 8 to 9 hours of usage of Spotify, YouTube, TikTok and reading some news. It's a really good experience knowing that I can trust my phone, but I do hate something about it, and that's the charging. Full charge takes about 2 hours and 40 minutes. Now I know what most of you will say, my charger is slow. I use a Samsung original charger from the S22 Ultra, fast charging, so I know it's not my charger. This is the charging speed of the device, and unfortunately for 2023 is really bad. But it's not that big of a problem if you put your phone to charge every night. Cameras. When it comes to the numbers, you get 50 megapixel wide, 40 megapixel telephoto and 12 megapixel ultra wide. Has auto HDR, can record 4K up to 60 frames per second with the main camera and 1080p up to 60 frames per second with the front-facing camera. When it comes to real life scenario, I can say that this is the best camera you can buy on a mobile phone from 2021. Remember, the Pixel was released in 2021. When it comes to picture quality, the camera combined with Google processing gave the best pictures you can imagine. Yes, sometimes the processing can be a little bit extreme, but the colors are crisp, your skin tone looks better than any other phone, and the portraits are probably the best I ever seen on a mobile phone. When it comes to video, iPhone is still the king. But it doesn't mean that the Pixel is bad. I mean, the recording you see right now is a 4K 30 frames per second recording from the Pixel 6 Pro, and I am more than happy to use it. As a matter of fact, all of the videos that are recorded on my channel, I'm recording it using the Pixel 6 Pro. Software. When it comes to the software experience, you get a beautiful Android experience, exactly how Google intended Android to look and feel. Everything is smooth, the software feels alive, and customization make it feels yours. For me, the Pixel experience is the best experience you can get on a mobile phone. And even though the beginning was not a smooth one because of the problems that they had, now you get an experience you won't be able to replicate on any other phone. And being an Android, you can make it look and feel how you want. Messaging. I know most of the people prefer using iMessenger, and don't get me wrong, I prefer it as well, but Google's RCS messages does exactly this. This is the same experience like iMessenger, but a bit faster in my opinion when it comes to transfer pictures and video. I love everything about it, and probably because it's an exact replica of iMessenger. But what do you do if people uses iMessengers and they don't have Android device? Well, if you have people on iOS, you can still message your friends on iMessenger using Sunbird. I mean, I message them from my Pixel, even from my Microsoft Surface Duo using this app. It's not perfect, it might take a couple of seconds extra to send the message and receive the message, but it does the job done. Literally, I can send iMessages from my Android device to an iPhone. Apps. Here we get a bit advantages and disadvantages. So let's start with advantages. You get the apps from the Google Play Store, but you also get apps from open source projects. Apps that are really good and make your experience way better. The best example I can give you are emulators. On Android you can play most of the retro consoles. You can play even Nintendo Switch games without you being needed to root, which is the equivalent to jailbreak on iOS. You can even emulate Windows if you want. Your imagination is the limit. This is why I love Android. You can do whatever you want with it. You can feel it's your product, your phone. Now disadvantages. Because of this freedom, you do get your device hacked if you're not being careful. Your data might be stolen, so you need to make sure you are doing your research before installing an app from an unknown source. Now this cannot be blamed on Android because it's the user's responsibility to make sure he doesn't install apps from unknown sources. Android even give you a warning not to do it. You get the freedom, but you can't blame Google for allowing it. But then you get to Google Play Store, where you had malicious apps directly from the Play Store, and this is a problem that you won't get on iOS. Google needs to do something about this, as it happens more and more often. And since Android is at the moment the most used operating system in the world, I will expect a bit more security on it. Overall, I'll recommend everyone to get the Pixel 6 Pro or even the Pixel 6, depending on your likings. If you need a better phone than the one that you have, keep in mind this phone was released in 2021 as a competitor to the iPhone 13 Pro Max. You can get a Pixel between $250 to $300, while the iPhone 13 Pro Max still costs about $700. You will get in some scenarios better experience with the Pixel, and I'm sure this will be a purchase you will not regret.